Hey guys, it's Warfare Daily here, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be doing a World of Tanks Blitz review on the AMX 5100. The AMX 5100 is a tier 8 French heavy tank, and it's the first French heavy tank that has an autoloader. Now this is quite a change from the other tanks in this tree, and I have to admit it does take a lot of getting used to, as I found out the hard way. But I believe that once you get used to it, it works pretty well. Now, when I made this video, I haven't really had the tank for very long, so I don't have any of the stuff for it really. Because yeah, as I said, I didn't have it for very long before this. But yeah, I still managed to pull off something okay for what it is. I mean, like once you get all the better stuff, then you'll be doing a lot better than I'm doing. But yeah, so it has 3 auto-loading gun options. I think it has the F3 cannon, I think it's like the best one for the previous tank. I can't remember what it's called for whatever reason. And then I also think it has a new one as well. As I said, this is the first gun for it. Now, this gun here is basically like the stats for it are quite similar to the regular F3 gun, except it's just an auto-loaded version, so same penetration and damage numbers. And it has 3 shells in the magazine, each shell taking 3.3 seconds to reload, and the whole clip takes 17 seconds to reload. That's this one gun. Of course, the other guns vary. I think the other ones, they take longer to reload, but they do a lot more damage. So, probably the biggest problem with this tank is that it's not really much of a heavy tank because it doesn't have a whole lot of armor. Now, the French heavy tanks at high tier don't really have a lot of armor, and this one here is no exception. I found that was one of the biggest problems for it. It's more of a medium tank, and it has decent mobility and speed, but yeah, it's definitely not a heavy tank, so you can't really play it like that. To be honest, its playstyle is kind of weird. Like I couldn't really work out how to play it exactly. I guess you just kind of have to take advantage of the auto-loading system by not engaging people in one-on-ones, just kind of staying back and firing away. You don't want to engage people. So I guess the main thing is, yeah, just to keep that in mind with the slow reload time for the clip, and to keep in mind you have 3 shells in the magazine. So yeah, don't engage people in one-on-ones. Now I can't exactly say this tank is really good or anything. Seems alright. I don't know, because I haven't played it a lot, as I said, but it does seem like a decent tank, especially if you like the kind of not so heavy tanks that don't have like heaps of armor and aren't too slow. But from what I've seen so far, yeah, I mean, if it's angled, you can bounce around, but you can't rely on it. Also, the turret, rather, does turn quite quickly, and it has very good, what's the word? Like, as you'll see, the barrel kind of moves around very quickly, but it still doesn't have a lot of gun depression, surprisingly, despite the fact that the barrel moves around on the turret so well. So you got to keep that in mind. And for the fact that it's a tier 8 tank, the first gun does lack penetration, and you will struggle against those heavy tanks when you first get it. So yeah, I mean, especially like that IS-6 for example, they're hard to get through, so I carry like 15 rounds of APCR. And the later tanks are different, you probably don't need to carry so much APCR. Now this tank does pave the way for the other 2 tanks though, which are kind of like the same idea, I guess, which is good. It just comes to a surprise, because it's certainly a different playstyle from the other tanks in its line, and you can find those reviews on my channel. I do a review of the T7 one and the T6 one. Now you can see that IS-6 charges at me. That's really not good. I couldn't really get away from him though. Unfortunately for him, he's on low health, so I finish him off only because I used APCR. If I hadn't used APCR, I probably wouldn't have got through. And yeah, don't bother taking HE or anything. If I was to get, like, as far as equipment goes, probably get that reload down for the clip, and maybe some extra speed and mobility would come in helpful for equipment, because, I mean, for a, I guess you could say, medium tank, I guess it does lack a bit there. It's one of those tanks that isn't really sure entirely what it's meant to be. You can almost nearly call it a tank destroyer, because you will be sniping a lot with it, but the gun actually isn't amazingly accurate, so yeah, I guess it's probably somewhere in between. Now just commentating on the battle, you can see there, I think that one may have hit the corner of the house, but that T-44, that was a good shot there. Doesn't usually happen with this gun. He puts a shot back even though it's angled. As I said, yeah, you guys already know about that. And that guy there, with regular AP, I could not get through him at all, so I have to switch to APCR. And you can see that shot there, like, it's... I'm not sure if it's usually like that or not, but yeah, I just seem to be missing a lot of rounds with it that I probably shouldn't be. I don't know if that was my fault or what, but it wasn't a good shot either way. And that T-44 is pushing up behind that shed, and once again, I'm getting into a one-on-one situation that you don't want to be in. I managed to put a shot through. Now I'm just trying to avoid contact, because I don't really want to be getting into that situation. Now I can see that he's engaged someone else, so I thought I might take my chance to hit him, but he gets behind the shed. And basically, I managed to get him just about now. You can see there with the lock-on system. And that's that guy there, you can see in AP, no chance of getting through, you have to switch to APCR. And he goes down, and at this point there's only 2 people left, and I push up behind that rock up there, and he charges down, and he was too busy engaging someone else, so I got a lot of free hits into him. You can see there he charges down, attacking that other guy. I tracked him, and basically I'm just hitting him at this point. I guess this is the advantage of the auto loader. You can see there, just putting more shots in. And yeah, the battle's pretty much over at this point. I didn't quite manage to get him. He just managed to get behind the cliff in time, but that's okay, doesn't really matter. Our team has won, and you can see there, yep, that once again that accuracy thing, but I did manage to bounce a shot from the side, which is kind of rare. So overall thoughts on the AMX 5100. Well, it's an okay tank. Can't say it's great, but can't really say it's bad either. It's decent, put it that way. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. This has been Warfare Daily. Subscribe and like the video if you enjoyed it. See you guys later.